What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Like always, like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and hit that notification bell. Today, gonna do a quick review over Star Wars X-Wing Wraith Squadron. Now, right away, I'll just say, I've said in a couple other videos, this was my second read-through of the book, because the first time when I read it, I was totally distracted by other hobbies I was trying to do, and just, it messed with me a little bit, and I just didn't soak the book in like I wanted to. I even I had made a review. I never uploaded it because I was just totally harsh. But reading it a second time, I noticed it wasn't that I was distracted and not, that's what I was blaming on not liking the book well. I simply just don't like the book that much. And I read it a second time to be sure, just because it's Star Wars, and I love the first X-Wing book so much, and everybody spoke so highly of this one. And it's not taken away. Like, the action in the book is good. When the action scenes are happening, it's great. The espionage, undercover, spy stuff they're doing, I guess you could call it, not really spy stuff, that's great. The problem is the writing itself. It did not stick to my brain at all. I don't know how to explain it, because I could read everything I read pretty fast, but every now and then there's authors that I just have to slow down and kind of go back here and there, because it doesn't, I don't know, the writing doesn't flow well. I guess that's the best way to say it. And the writing just didn't flow well the entire book. The end gets a little better. There's like a cool little mystery woman on one of the admiral's ships that you find out right at the end, so that adds an element of surprise to the book. And if you've read the other X-Wing books, you kind of could guess who that is. But man, I don't know, I liked the book. I did like it, but I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 simply because of the writing, and it puts me off from getting to the next two. I'm worried that they're not gonna flow like this one, but maybe they get better as far as the flowing goes within the pages. But anyways, what you got here is Wedge Antilles is making a separate squadron aside from Rogue Squadron. He wants to basically make a squadron that could go down on the ground and do undercover type of stuff. And they do just that. And they end up just, by chance, they end up taking over a Star Destroyer, the Nightcaller, big giant Imperial ship. And maybe it wasn't a Star Destroyer. I'm almost sure it was a Star Destroyer. See, that's what I'm talking about. When the authors don't flow in their writing, I finish a book and I immediately just forget. It just wasn't, it's not gonna, when I wake up tomorrow, I won't remember anything from this book pretty much. That's just the way it's gonna be. And that happens. There's been a couple of other books since I've been back into reading that have been like that. Anyways, they get this ship, they all go undercover on it, acting as, they're Imperial soldiers. They figure out how to hack the holograms. So the one guy, Face Lauren, who was like an ex-child, he was a child actor or something back in, his youth. And so he does all this acting like what should have been Captain Derillian on this Star Destroyer. And so they're going through all that, trying to track this Admiral Trigget from another Star Destroyer, which they know will lead them to the warlord Zinji, however you say his name. You should recognize him, because that's where they kind of leave off in the first 4 X-Wing books. So they're doing all that. They're going through the motions, doing all that. And they're sorry, the kid's losing it over her tablet today. Lost my train of thought. That's just this book. It's been a loss of train of thought. I'm glad it only took me like a day to read, because I probably would have DNF'd it if it would have took longer. But anyways, man, I just don't want to be so harsh on it, because it's Star Wars. I know people are going to be mad that I didn't like this book, and I'm sorry. I loved the first 4 X-Wing books. I loved them. They were amazing. The Bacta War, I believe, is one of my most favorite books I've read all time within everything that I've read. But this is not, this wasn't great to me. Like I said, though, the action was great. The undercover type stuff they were doing was great. They go to a certain planet and they're sneaking around, pretending to be these other people. There's some funny sequences. There's some good like action stuff going on. There's a lot going on. It's you know, it should be a much better time, but the flow of the writing, you know, I should have said the book was written by Aaron Alston. I know a lot of people love his writing and the other stuff he's done, but man, I just had a hard time getting into it. And it doesn't even say what his other books are unless there's somewhere else. I never even looked, you know what I mean? But I will also say, you know, the cover art, they don't even tell me who the cover artist was. Interesting. But, you know, getting sidetracked. I'm going to end the video here in a minute because I don't have too much more to say about this book. You know, if you love Star Wars, read it. You may pick it up and absolutely love it, especially if you're an X-Wing fan, which I am. I loved the first 4 X-Wing books. But it's going to be a struggle. I do have the next 2 on my giant TBR till summer that I want to get to. And, you know, it could redeem itself. You know, you never know. Sometimes you don't like something and then it gets better with the sequel or something. But like I said, I read this book a second time just to see if, you know, maybe I was wrong in my initial assessment of it. But I wasn't, you know what I mean? I like the book. I don't hate it, you know what I mean? I know I've been harsh. I don't hate it, but I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because the flow of the writing it boggled my mind. I just could not get in a rhythm with this book. It took me all day to read it. I could not get in a rhythm. Like, it bothered me. Like, I don't know. It was weird. But I mean, it's Star Wars, so, you know, it's not hate. It's good. You should read it. Everyone should read the X-Wing series. It's great. So, you know, it was just the flow of the writing for me. You know, for me, someone else might pick it up and the flow of the writing will be great. And if you love espionage type of stuff, that's exactly what you're getting in this book. It's a whole different look for the X-Wing series, and that part I really did like. So, you know, I enjoyed that aspect. So next up on the list is I want to say this is indie. It looks indie to me. He has a great channel, Cameron Chaney, the Library Macabre. When I upload this review, I'll tag him in the description. But yeah, it's copyright to Cameron Chaney, so it's indie published. This has like a nostalgia feel to it, even though it was written in 2023. Excited to get to this next up. But like I said, 7 out of 10 for Star Wars X-Wing Wraith Squadron. I'm apprehensive, but at the same time, I just want to get through the next 2. I didn't hate these as much as I hated the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy. Not by any means. These smoke, you know, this book smokes that trilogy. And I hope Iron Fist and Solo Command, you know, do it a little better. I plan on reading those back to back. Maybe when I get to them, we'll see. But the books after those 3, I'm real excited to get to. I know Michael Stackpole comes back to write the X-Wing book that would be number 8. So we'll see. I'm interested to see like I said, the character that pops up at the end, who is basically like in a disguise on Admiral Triggett's Star Destroyer. I am interested to see if I'm right on who she is and what she does in the next 2 books. So that's the video today, guys. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. And if you've read this one, let me know what you think. You know what I mean? Was my opinion too harsh? Was I totally wrong? Am I an idiot? I don't know. Let me know. Later.